All right, Firebirds fan, we got TJ Reeves, outfielder from Alabama, from Birmingham, so he's an Alabama guy through and through. TJ, thanks for joining us, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good, man. We're hanging in here. We're doing these interviews, trying to give the fans, something to root for, something to get excited for, and we thank you for coming on. So, like I said, TJ, you were born in Birmingham. What factor did that have in coming to Alabama? Was that a dream school for you all the way? Did you ever think about another school? I mean, because being so close, that's got to be an influence, right?
Yeah, definitely. So actually, growing up, baseball was my second sport. So I was a basketball player all the way until ninth grade, and I wanted to play basketball to get to college and so forth, whatever. So baseball was my second sport, and then I got hurt my ninth grade year, and I just put basketball down and stuck to baseball, and I started getting looks by colleges in ninth grade, after my ninth grade summer, and Alabama was one of my main schools, just because it was so close. I've always been an Alabama fan. My mom, she's from Tuscaloosa herself. All her family's down there, and they all been Alabama fans. So it's like Alabama's been my dream school since I was young. It was for basketball at first, but now it turned to baseball when I got hurt. So, I mean, it all worked out in the end. I committed to Alabama when I was 15. It was the fall of my sophomore year in high school, and I knew, like, when they offered me, uh, I knew before I left the campus I wanted to commit.
Mhm.
So it was an easy choice for me. Being on the campus before actually going on the visit, you don't get to see all the inside stuff. So like I got to see like all the football training facilities.
Mhm.
The field was very new when I went on my visit. I think it was maybe a year old then. So I
Right.
got to see all the new facilities, all the new locker rooms, all the new weight rooms that baseball uses. I mean, it was great, and the field itself was just beautiful, and I fell in love right there. So,
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt when Nick Saban and those boys were winning chips, huh?
uh,
Growing up.
yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw. I don't know why, but Dansby Swanson was down there that weekend. It was LSU versus Alabama football game weekend, and I'm pretty. I mean, Dansby is a big Southern guy. He likes to see football, and he was down there. I got to meet him, take a couple pictures with him, and it was pretty dope. So.
So you committed sophomore year. How did that change your high school experience?
I think it just made me want me to train even harder because uh, just a lot of haters, come on. Older guys are thinking like, hey, how's this young guy committed to SEC school and I'm not even committed anywhere? He shouldn't have this opportunity. But I know in my mind that all my hard work and training would show off and pay off, and it can tell them why I'm in that position that I'm in. I mean, I thank God, and I try to stay humble about it. But me and my dad, he just tells me like all the time, stay humble and perfect your craft, and that's what I tried to do, and it showed on the field for itself. So I didn't have to do really much talking to them. I just let my results show. My junior year, I would say, would be my most fun year. Well, my sophomore, my junior, and my senior year, we made it to the fourth round, which is semifinals each year. But I would say that my junior year was most fun year because I wasn't the old guy, but I was also a young guy at the same time. And I don't know. I mean, we had like 12 seniors on the team, which is really fun.
Yeah.
And we made that fourth round. We played a team called Coleman High School, and they were loaded. Like they had, I think, 8 D1 signees and like 2 D1 commits. And I mean, just going into it, we just knew it was gonna be a tough game. And so I mean, we got swept. Let's put that out there. But I think that was the most fun 2 games that we've ever played as a team, just because the way we played, the way we fought. The second game, we went into like I think 10 innings, and it was like 2 innings back to back where I made a play to save a run from them walking it off, and then my teammate made a play to save a run from them walking it off. I mean, that was really, I mean, it was heartbreaking after the 2 losses, but I think now looking back at it, those were the most two fun games that we played.
And you mentioned your dad. How big was he on your baseball experience growing up?
He was, I mean, he was huge. I mean, I can remember now when I was like, 11 years old, me and him driving to Atlanta every weekend to go play baseball, or driving to Tennessee, or driving anywhere around the United States. I mean, every weekend in the summer we were playing baseball, and he was there every step of the way. I mean, I remember there were nights during the weekdays we would be hitting for 2.5 hours in my garage, just because like I had a bad weekend in the summer, and and I remember him just making me hit off the tee for about 2.5 hours, or side toss, or me going in the back cage in our batting cage and hitting for 2 hours. Just all the times like that. I mean, when I was younger, I hated it. You know, like every freaking kid hates their dad when they're young, when they're telling them the right thing to do. But now I look back at it, I'm like really thankful for that he pushed me the way he did.
Yeah. Was he a ball player himself?
He wasn't. My granddad was actually the baseball player. He was the basketball player. That's why I wanted to play basketball so much, because he knew everything about basketball. I think as I got older in baseball, he learned a lot more about the game, and that's where he helped me a lot more. But when I first started, I was under a guy named Philip Johnston. He's out of Hueytown too, and he really taught me how to play baseball, and my dad learned from him. And once we moved on from park ball and moved on to like higher level baseball, he ended up teaching me a lot more stuff too. So
players at your level, is that there's some, and you already mentioned Johnston, but there are some people who are really instrumental in the baseball career that, you know, once you get to the big stage, whether it be college or minors or whatever, those names kind of get forgotten. You remember them, but other people, you know, they don't hear them. So what are some people, yeah, I know you mentioned a couple already that are pretty big in your baseball career, whether that be Little League coaches or travel coaches or parents. Now you already mentioned that, but any other people you want to give some love to get you to this point?
Yeah. So growing up, I played for 3 main teams: the Hueytown Rec League, the Golden Gophers, which was under Philip Johnston, and then I moved on to a team out of Huntsville, Alabama, which was Viper Baseball Academy, and the head guy of that was named Ricky Deal. He was a great guy. I mean, he taught me a lot of stuff about just the little things in baseball. He showed me a lot of love. When I first started playing for him, I was actually playing infield, and he saw my speed, and he was like, "Dude, you can be a great center fielder." I mean, so I tried it, of course, and I made some plays that other players wouldn't make. So I stayed out there, and he taught me a lot about different routes you need to take, and like how you should think of each situation. So, say, for instance, a runner on second, and you get a ground ball to your right, or I mean, you get a ground ball to your left, and you know you can't get them out at home, automatically throw to second. I learned that from him. All growing up, I always thought you try to get the lead out, but he taught me to throw the guy at second, because that guy may be thinking you're throwing home when he's really throwing to second, and he's out by 2 or 3 steps. I mean, so, and also want to give credit to a guy named Derek Simon. I played under him for 2 years, I think, around 10 to 11 to 12, and he taught me a lot about the game as well. We had a stud team. It was he was based out of Albany, Georgia, and he actually saw me. I think I was playing a tournament in Alabama somewhere, and they came to play in Alabama too. And he saw me playing against them, and he asked me after the tournament, "Hey, do you want to come play with us?" And we took out the opportunity, and he really got me introduced to like real travel ball, like traveling all across the nation to play. So those 3 guys, I think they're big influences in my life on why I play this game.
What about your travel ball experience help you get to where you are today?
I would say I went through a lot of adversity. Excuse me. Yeah, I went through a lot of adversity, because in travel ball, you run into teams that have 20 D1 commits.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a guy like you're 15 and there's a guy on the mound throwing 95 at the time. And you're just like,
Yeah.
how am I supposed to hit that? Like,
Yeah.
I've never seen 95 before. I mean, but it was good competition. I mean, I think it definitely prepared me for where I am now. Don't back down from any competition, basically. Like, whatever comes at you, just go with it, and just don't hope for the best, but your preparation and your training and all the practices that you done in the past, it led up to this moment. So I think all those moments helped me to get where I am today.
The travel games across the state and everything to Atlanta. Are you a Braves fan?
What you say?
You're an Atlanta Braves fan?
Oh, definitely, yeah. That's my favorite team right there.
So, I'm a Mets fan. So we got the interdivision rivalry. It killed us, especially in the late '90s. So yeah,
I will say I've recently become a Braves fan, like in the last 3-4 years, since like Acuna and Albies all been there. That's when I became a Braves fan.
So are those guys inspirational for you?
Oh yeah, Acuna especially. I mean, that's the way he plays the game. The emotion he carries, and like just the accomplishments that he has accomplished.
Yeah.
In 2-3 years. I mean, it's amazing. As a young kid, I went to the SEC tournament a lot because it's in Hoover, Alabama, and that's literally like 15 minutes away from me. Okay. So, I mean, as a young kid, I used to go to those games every May, every end of May. And me and my dad and a couple of my teammates used to go. I mean, we used to sit there all day from like 10 o'clock until the last game of the night. I mean, and I think that had a big effect on me on why I wanted to play the game even more, just to get to that stage too. So,
all right. So let's get to your career at Bama. You're not going too far, which is good. You probably felt a little more comfortable in that sense, but at the same time, you are moving on from high school ball to a different level. So maybe talk about your first time, maybe your first fall practice or the first time you met the team and the feelings you got as you realized I'm a college baseball player now at Bama.
I was definitely nervous. I mean, once I saw like all the older guys, I think that brought the nerves out of me. Just because BP, BP is just so much different from high school to college. Like everybody's hitting bombs, like everybody. And I'm just like, wow, like I'm one of these guys now. I gotta show them what I'm worth and like show them not a pushover and just trust my hard work that got me there. So, but as the fall progressed, my freshman year, I got very, very comfortable, and my teammates were very easy to talk to. I mean, I think we all bonded together really well. So, yeah.
Yeah, you probably yes, chemistry is big, right? And I feel like a lot of these guys that I talk to, the team seems pretty easy to get together with. When did you feel like you really belonged? Were there like social nights, say at the baseball house, or what made you feel like, hey, I'm part of the team here and I can start really contributing soon?
Yeah, I mean, just outside of the facilities and the baseball, I mean, we all used to hang out together. Like I would say, like I know my freshman year we had to live on campus, and all the teammates stayed together and in 3 dorms, and we were all right next to each other. I mean, and we bonded. I mean, really quickly. Like we got really close, really quickly, and I think that just fed to the rest of the guys. I mean, I know there have been nights where we've been all together playing the show until like 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, and waking each other up for 6 a.m.s and pushing, working out together at 6 a.m. and pushing through it and all that good stuff. I mean, I think all of that just made us closer and just brought our chemistry to another level.
So you got head coach Brad Bohannon. Was he the one who recruited you? Because I know Greg Goff was there until
actually, this is a funny story. The coach before Greg Goff actually recruited me.
Oh, really?
So it was actually Mitch Gaspard that recruited me, and then he ended up just resigning, and then Greg Goff came and he honored my scholarship, and I stayed, and then he was only there for 1 year, and then Coach Bo came my senior year, and So what was crazy about that situation is that Greg Goff, he actually like offered like too many athletes. So Coach Bo had to he had to let some of the kids go, and I was just blessed enough to not be let go and stay in that, in that class. So
Yeah.
it kind of worked out well for me, which I thank God for. So
That's wild,
yeah,
man. That's three
it
different
was
coaches even before you step on.
yeah, yeah, it is wild, but Alabama's my dream school, and my mom, she's probably the biggest Alabama fan you ever meet. So I knew it would make her really happy if I stayed with that school, and I would have been happy too. It's only 45-minute drive from my house, and they can come see me anytime. I can go home anytime. It's really nice for me.
Yeah, we talked about your dad before, but your mom maybe even the bigger fan. So what's it like?
hmm
She like you said, she gets to travel to the games, and how hyped was she really when you first got committed to Alabama?
Oh my gosh, she teared up, like
Yeah.
bawled her eyes out. She held it good enough until we got out of his office, and then once he stepped foot out of
Yeah.
his office, she lost it. I mean, she was so happy. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, she almost made me tear up, and I'm trying to be a tough guy,
Yeah.
but it was a great experience.
All right, I'm about to show my mom some pictures of MLB players and see if she gets them. All right. Yeah.
Jeter.
Okay.
Move it up. Oh no. I forgot his name. I forgot his name. I know. Aruna? No. Karuna? No. Ozzy?
No.
No. Wait a minute, hold on.
Is it a situation like you have familiar family members in the stands every game, or what's it like, and how does that affect your play?
Yeah, I have a lot of family actually come to my games because all of my mom's side is from Tuscaloosa, which is, I mean, where Alabama's at.
Yeah.
So I'm on almost every game. I have 2 to 3 faces in the stands for me, which helps a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Which knows, I know where my family's supporting me. No matter what I'm doing, they're supporting me, and they're always going to support me. And it's nice to have that in your back pocket. So
Yeah, it makes it feel like you're kind of still playing in high school or even travel, right? Because you have those
yeah,
faces. 'Cause
yeah, exactly.
some guys they grow up where I am on the East Coast, and they go out to UCLA, and it's like a different world, and they don't have those
Yeah.
faces. So for you to get comfortable, it must have been so much easier having the connection and just seeing a couple of familiar faces and just settling in, right? It must have been a lot easier for you against maybe some other athletes. Like you probably know some teammates, right, that are pretty far away in their hometown.
Yeah, we have 3 Canadians on our team.
Wow.
So, and I know only before quarantine happened, only one of their parents that was able to come up, and that was opening weekend. And like the other parents were planning to come up later in the season, but it got canceled. So, I mean, it's tough for them, but we all stick through it. I mean, we're teammates and we're like their family too, so it's
Mhm.
not a big deal.
So
I know
your
what's all going
freshman
on.
year, let's get in. You played 48 games. You started 39, and the second half of the season is where you came on strong.
Yeah. So in the fall, during fall ball, I mean, it was really tough. I mean, I was struggling. I think I got 10 hits out of 70 ABs,
Mm-hmm.
something like that in the fall. I struggled. So at the beginning of the season, I sat. I think the first 2 weekends of the season, and I think that really fueled me to hey, I need to step my game up. I need to. So he finally gave me a shot, and the first weekend series game I played, I went like, I don't know, 2 for 3 with a homer and a double.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I looked back from there. I pretty much played every single game after that, and just try to keep my head on straight. And I just always remembered what happened in the fall. Like, you don't need to go back to that place. Whatever you do, make sure you don't go back. to whatever you were doing because it was not working at the time. So, and then when we came back from Christmas break, I was hitting a lot better. I got in the cage with my dad and with some of my other coaches from back home, and we're in the cage almost every day. And I'm just grinding and grinding. And when I came back, we started winter ball right before the preseason games, and I was just hitting a lot better. And coach told me, you want to get your opportunity, just make it count. And then when I finally got the opportunity, I try to make it count. So like failure is in the game. That's what this game is you hit 3 out of 10. I mean, you get 3 out of 10 hits and you're a Hall of Famer in the pros.
Yeah.
So I just have to accept that. And I think what I was doing in the fall, I was just beating myself up because I didn't get a hit every time. Like I'm used to like getting a hit almost every time, and I wasn't, and I was beating myself up, and it was just bringing me down and carrying over to my next AB and my next AB and my next AB. So I just in my head I just thought like, hey, you're on the fail, but just remember the good times. Like remember when you got that hit, or remember when you hit that ball over left field fence. So yeah, I would say that breaking stuff is a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember my freshman fall, I seen we had a guy named Sam Finnerty, and I'm pretty sure he was able to put a ball wherever he wanted to. He was a senior, topped about 89, 90, but I'm telling you, he can put any pitch wherever he wanted to, and that was just a rude awakening for me. And I think I swung at almost every slider in the dirt, every curveball in the dirt, because I'm thinking it's a fastball, and it's just like a lot more tighter spin. And I just had to get used to it really quick. I would say our first ACC weekend, we played, I think, Ole Miss. We're at Ole Miss, and I saw some guys. I mean, like, Ole Miss was really good last year. And I saw some guys that were like, legit, like their closer, Carucci, I think that's what his name was. He was really good. And he was like short, stocky guy, but he threw like 93, 94, and he had a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing that for the first time, I was just like, okay, I need to step up. I need to get ready because this fastball he can blow it by me, or this breaking ball, he can break my knees and make my legs look like Jello. So I need to be mentally ready when I'm stepping in the box and be able to try to hit this ball. So, I mean, it was a lot of guys playing in the SEC. You see a lot of guys. Like, I think the best pitcher I saw last year was Emerson Hancock. The pitcher from Georgia. He's probably gonna go number 1, number 2 this year. And he was filthy. I mean, he was hurt when he played us, and he was still filthy. He's usually their Friday starter, but he was hurt. He was coming off an injury or something. He started Sunday, and he was just nasty. I remember I think I got 1 hit off of him. I think I went 1 for 3 off of him, but the other 2 at bats they were a grind. They were a grind.
Against Sanford, April 9th. Do you remember what you did?
Yeah, I hit 2 home runs in 1 inning that game.
First
that
player,
was a great game.
Yeah, first Bama player since 08 to do so. I mean, that's crazy. So I guess walk me through that game, because that's a game you're going to remember, right? Maybe even walking to the ballpark and everything else. How'd you feel that day? Did you feel like, okay, this is going to be a special day for me?
Dude, I'm telling you, my BP that day was the worst BP.
Really?
Out of the whole season. I promise you. Like, I was talking to a couple of my teammates. I'm like, dude, I'm about to have the worst game of my life. I feel it. And then my first at bat, I flew out to deep center field, like at the warning track, and I felt really good. And then I think we actually hit 9 home runs that game, which is crazy. We won like 22-1 or something like that. The ball was just flying out of the park, but I think I was the first one to hit a home run. And then we had one behind. We went back to back to back. I was like, okay. And then I got back up again that same inning, and the only thing I was thinking about was hitting another home run. So the first 2 pitches, I swung at 2 balls, and it got to 0-2 count really quick. And I was like, all right, chill out, just try to get a hit. I watched the curveball in the dirt, and then I got another curveball, and I ended up hitting that out right field.
Nice.
I mean, and then I think after that at bat, all the starters got pulled, and he put some of the other guys in to get playing time. But that was a really fun game. Really fun game.
the year. So then you get to Wisconsin. It's a Northwoods League. That league, you hit 324, 412 on base, 556 slugging. So that goes to 10 homers and 33 driven in. So not bad at all. Steal 16 bases just for good measure. So this is probably a little different for you experience-wise because you're going up to the Midwest, maybe somewhere you haven't really been before, right?
No, I've never been to the Midwest before. But I think it was really fun. I was in a little town called Wausau, Wisconsin, and I've had a great host family. They treated me like I was their own son. My roommate was a guy from Texas A&M named Colson Geisler, and he was a left-handed pitcher. And but yeah, that summer was really fun. We bonded really well. I mean, playing 72 games in 76 days, you're going to bond really well. So we bonded really quick and really well. And our coaches up there, they were awesome. But it was a grind. We did play pretty much every day. And then the couple off days that we did get, it was I didn't have off days because I played in the All-Star game, and then I played in the Prospect Showcase game. So like those off days were non-existent basically. I was very far from home. Like my parents didn't even get to come up and get to come see me play. One time they had to watch online every single game. And I'm used to my parents coming to every single game that I'm playing in and supporting me. And I just I just had to wear it. I just had to grind it out, and I think that it made me even disrespect the game even more. Everything's not going to go your way. It's not going to go the way you want it to all the time. So you just got to adjust and make the best of what you can. So that team, we're going to stay pretty good friends all the way, until we get old. I mean, that was a really fun season. A lot of long bus rides. I know we had 3 or 4 bus rides to Michigan, which were 8 to 9 hours.
Wow.
8 and I mean,
9 hours.
Yeah. So I mean, but it was fun though. I don't regret it at all.
So then that summer helps you a lot, you just to get reps, and then you come into sophomore year as maybe a little bit more of an elder statesman, right? When you have such a strong freshman year, you're still kind of like the hot shot, but now you got a year under your belt, right? And then you get new freshmen, so you're a little bit more of a voice, right?
Yeah, I kind of looked at myself as a leader. I mean, we had a lot of freshmen play this year. I think we had 4 freshmen in the lineup every game.
Wow.
And I just try to tell them like, hey, you're not gonna succeed. Every single game. Like it's gonna be games where you go 0 for 4, 3 Ks. Like, just when you get that next game, you just gotta go back out there with that mindset, like, hey, I'm better than you. I'm going to get a hit this time. Or, hey, I'm about to make this play. And if you make an error or something in that nature, just move to the next play. You can't think about what happened, your last AB or your last play.
Yeah, and you probably told them that, and you also set it by example because you started 5 for 30.
Yep.
You were probably wondering, when am I going to hit my stride? But you seem to keep that confidence, right? And by the end of the year, you're right back what you were doing the year before, even better.
Yeah. See that? So getting a season, dude. I was batting 5 for 30, and I'm in my head. I'm just like, God, this sucks, but I know it will come around. My hard work didn't go anywhere. It's not like I don't know how to play baseball anymore. So I mean, I know it's gonna come around. When it does, I just need to keep it straight on. Like I need to turn it up. Try to just try to be better basically and stay where I am. So but it was really tough. I will say that. Like there were some nights after the second weekend of the season, I think I was with like 3 for 20 or something. And I'm just thinking in my head like, dude, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? Like I'm in the cages after the games and just like grinding it out. I'm like, I know it's not my swing because I'm hitting off the tee and hitting BP perfectly fine. I think it's just a mindset. And what I really think what it was is I think I was just putting way too much pressure on myself because, I had a pretty good freshman year. Just missed a freshman ACC team by a couple votes, and I'm putting just way too much pressure on myself. Like, just be you, be yourself, and it all come. And at the last, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 games, whatever the season that we played, I started getting hits. I hit a bomb and against Harvard to go up to we were tied 3-3 in that game. I hit a bomb bottom 8, and it was a no doubter. And I think that's where it clicked. Yeah, I was like, all right, I'm back. And the next 5 to 6 games, I think I had a 6-game hitting streak, and I was just getting back hot. And it's sad that quarantine ended that, but things happen for a reason. So just get right back at it next season. Hopefully, I can pick up where I left off.
You start a 5-game hitting streak, 364, a double, that home run you talked about, 3 RBIs, 5 runs, and 2 walks, and a stolen base. So you started rolling, and the tide was rolling too. You guys, start 14-1 before the season is shortened. It's interesting because the year before you guys started 16-2, only to finish 14-24 the rest of the way.
Yeah.
So you were probably, some of you was thinking like, we got to keep this hot start, but we also got to maintain it as opposed to last year, right?
So I feel like this year's team is a lot different from last year's team. Last year's team, we had a lot of older guys. We had a lot of seniors and juniors. This year, we had a lot of freshmen and sophomores playing. I mean, we had, I think in an everyday lineup, we had 1 senior starting, which is Brett Arbag, arguably our best player on our team. And then we had 2 juniors, which were Sam Prater, Tyler Gentry, and then the rest were sophomores and freshmen. Wow. So we were really young, and the stuff from last year that happened, a lot of the freshmen didn't know about it because they weren't there. So it's just that didn't happen. So I feel like going into SEC play, it would have been a lot different. We had a lot to show. I mean, this is our first time being ranked in 5-6 years. I think we ended the season ranked number 20 or number 21 or something, and that was the first time in 5-6 years that's happened.
Games of the year, even though maybe you're not hitting the ball as much as you'd like, you still get on base every game. The first 14 out of the 16 games that you guys played. So that streak you had extended from the season prior. You had a 25-game streak of reaching base safely. So
wow.
Even though if you just look at the batting average, you think, I'm struggling. You're still finding a way, chipping away, getting on base. You get hit by a lot of pitches, it looks like. You work the count. So even though you weren't maybe making as much hard contact, you still found a way to get on first. And then second and third would be a stealing base.
Yeah, I will say I grinded every single at bat. It was just one missing piece that I was just missing. And when I found I was fouling a lot of pitches straight back, those pitches you swing at and it just come straight back. I was doing that a lot, and I couldn't stop doing it. And I finally got a hold of what I was doing, and it kind of turned it up at the end of the season. But I was still grinding out each at bat, trying to help my team any way I can, whether it's a walk or me not getting out of the way of a pitch so I can be on base and provide a run for my team. So whatever way I can help, I try to. At the last game of the season, we played UAB, which is in Birmingham, and I had about 15 to 20 people there. And that, not a lot of people can say their last game of the season this year, they had a lot of family there. Yeah. And I can say that, and I'm really thankful for that we got to play at UAB. We actually played at a minor league stadium, the White Sox AA team, the Birmingham Barons. That's where we played, and it was pretty freaking nice. Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
That's a good last memory of this year, even though it ended way earlier.
Even the way it ended the way it did, I had my family there. I had a lot of my family there, so it was nice.